Assalamu alaikum dear students. I hope you will be doing good. So today we are going to study chemistry and it is a lecture from the month of March. So the topic or the chapter which we are going to study today is the atmosphere past and present. It is chapter 11.01, page number 188 to 189 from your textbook. So the topics which we are going to cover in this lecture are what is atmosphere, what is in the air, where did the atmosphere come from, first stage the volcanic gases, second stage life begins, and then oxygen. So what is atmosphere? The atmosphere is a layer of gas around the earth. It may feel light. It might not seem like it, but air has weight. Anything with mass has weight, and we know air has mass because, for example, we can feel it when the wind blows. The total weight of the atmosphere exerts a pressure at sea level. Another example, when you lie flat out at the seaside to sunbath, there are about 13,000 kilograms of the gas pressing down on your body. That's why your body feels some pressure. This gas layer has 4 parts. We live in the troposphere with the trips into the stratosphere now and then. Okay, so let's talk about troposphere. What is troposphere? It is basically the lowest region of the atmosphere, extending from the Earth's surface to the height of about 6 to 10 kilometers, which is the lower boundary of the stratosphere. And what is a stratosphere? The stratosphere is a layer of Earth's atmosphere. It is the second layer of the atmosphere. As you go upward, the troposphere, which is the lowest layer, is right below the stratosphere, and the next higher layer above the stratosphere is the mesosphere. Okay, the first layer is the troposphere. It extends from about 10 kilometers and exerts 15 degrees centigrade temperature and 1000 millibar pressure. Stratosphere, it extends from about 50 kilometers and bears minus 45 to 0 degrees centigrade temperature and 10 millibar pressure. Then mesosphere. The mesosphere is a layer of Earth's atmosphere, and the mesosphere is directly above the stratosphere and below the thermosphere. It extends from about 80 kilometers and bears 85 degrees centigrade with 1 millibar pressure. And then thermosphere. The thermosphere is a layer in the Earth's atmosphere directly above the mesosphere, right? And it extends from about greater than 600 kilometers and bears 1750 degrees temperature and less than 1 millibar pressure. All right. What is atmosphere? So as I have told you earlier, that we live in the troposphere with the trips into the stratosphere now and then. So the only astronauts have passed out of the atmosphere on the way to the International Space Station, which is 390 kilometers above the Earth or the Moon, 356,000 kilometers away, right? We cannot go in the space. Okay. The gas is at its most dense at sea level, but thins out rapidly as you rise through the troposphere. It is the mixture, we call it as air. All right, so what is in the air? This pie chart shows the gases that make up air. All right, air contains 21% oxygen, 78% nitrogen, and the remaining 1% is mainly argon, a little carbon dioxide, water vapors, helium, neon, krypton, and xenon. In this diagram, you can see troposphere, above that stratosphere is present, and above that mesosphere is present. The UV light or the ultraviolet light coming from the sun are penetrating stratosphere, and they are also touching some part of the troposphere. Again, you can see the ozone layer in this diagram, right? Okay, so composition of air is not exactly the same everywhere. It changes a little from day to day and place to place. Here I'm going to give you an example. just compare two areas of Karachi. One is Gulistan-e-Johar, let's say, and the other one is Korangi, right? You can see that the Korangi area consists of lots of different types of the industry, such as the food industry or pharma industry. Pharma industry is the medicine industry, right? So they are dealing with chemicals, right? So they are uh, certain processes are carried out in these industries, so they are releasing certain harmful or poisonous gases such as carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxides, right? These poisonous gases are releasing into the atmosphere. So the atmosphere, however, on the other hand, when we talk about Gulistan-e-Johar, there is no industry present in this area. So the atmosphere of Korangi is very much different than the atmosphere of Gulistan-e-Johar. Why is that so? Because of the poisonous gases are present in that the Korangi's atmosphere, while there is no harmful gases present in Gulistan-e-Johar's atmosphere. I hope you people are clear with this example, right? Okay. Here I'm about to give you another example. There's more water vapors in the air on a damp day, and over busy cities and industrial areas, there's more carbon dioxide as well as the poisonous gases like carbon monoxide and sulfur dioxide, like I have told you people earlier. So these are spread everywhere in time to time. Another example here I'm going to give you is about you can compare the atmosphere of Pakistan to that of the America. Here in Pakistan, you will observe lots of pollution. But when we talk about America, there is comparatively less pollution present as compared to Pakistan, right? So, where did the atmosphere come from? The Earth was formed about 4,600 million years ago when gravity caused a hot, dense band of gas and dust around the sun to collapse in on itself. Particles got pulled in and squashed together. In time, the huge mass of material that formed broke up into the Earth and other planets. And then the Earth's atmosphere developed in stages. What does it mean? It means that Earth was formed 4,600 million years ago when some hot gases and elements in the universe combined together due to the gravity and formed huge mass, which then broke up into different planets, and then Earth's atmosphere developed in stages. All right, first stage, the volcanic gases. So inside the young Earth, there was intense activity. Hot gases leaked out through the crust and burst from volcanoes. What does it mean? It means that inside the young Earth, there was an intense activity of hot gases that were leaked out through the breakage through the breakage that appeared on the Earth crust, right, and burst from the volcanoes. Okay, over billions of years, our atmosphere developed from these gases. Scientists cannot be specifically sure about which gases formed the early atmosphere. Some scientists agreed that it was mainly carbon dioxide and water vapors. Many scientists thought that ammonia and methane were the other key gases, okay? And some scientists also thought that hydrogen, nitrogen, and carbon were the key gases. But all scientists agreed that there was little or no oxygen. All right. Atmosphere now contains less water vapors. Okay, when the temperature dropped below 100 degrees centigrade, the steam cooled and condensed. It rained for the centuries, and the ocean formed. If I ask you in exam how ocean formed, how did ocean form? Then you have to write this answer, right? And less carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide dissolved in the falling rain, forming an acidic solution. This attacked minerals in the Earth's crust, forming carbonates that were washed into the oceans, right? So, second stage, life begins. Then around 3,500 years ago, an amazing event took place. Primitive life appeared. It may have started in hot pools with lightning providing the spark. First reaction between the dissolved compounds produce amino acids. These polymerize to form proteins, and finally, proteins combine to form units that could reproduce themselves. What does it mean? It means that 3,500 years ago, first primitive life was appeared, right? And it may have started in the hot pools, where the heated groundwater rises from the Earth's crust with lightning and providing the spark. All right, and then reaction between dissolved compounds produced amino acids, and these amino acids, as you know that these are the smallest and simplest particles or simplest substances. They polymerized, like they joined to form proteins, a complex substance, right? And finally, proteins combined to form units that could reproduce themselves. Then the first living things were simple bacteria. Nitrifying bacteria fed on ammonia, producing nitrates that then formed proteins. The nitrifying bacteria fed on ammonia, releasing nitrogen to the atmosphere. All right. Then oxygen. Around 2,200 million years ago, the first green plants developed and photosynthesis began. It used carbon dioxide and produced oxygen. Alright, just to recall your concept of photosynthesis, here I'm going to explain you what is photosynthesis briefly. Okay, so photosynthesis is the process by which green plants and certain other organisms transform light energy into chemical energy. During photosynthesis in green plants, light energy is captured and used to convert water, carbon dioxide, and minerals into oxygen and energy-rich organic compounds. All right, the first oxygen reacted in a powerful and destructive manner with the elements on the Earth's surface forming oxides, but eventually it began to build up in the atmosphere. It poisoned most of the organisms that fed on the other gases. Their offsprings, where the anaerobic bacteria, are now found in places where there was no oxygen, right? Why they are called as anaerobic bacteria? Because they can grow in the absence of oxygen, right? For example, they live in waterlogged soil or by the volcanic vents on the ocean floor. So what as waterlogged soil? Waterlogging is basically the saturation of the soil with water. Soil may be regarded as waterlogged when it is nearly saturated with water, much of the time such that its air phase is restricted and anaerobic condition prevails, right? And volcanic vents are the opening in the Earth's crust from which lava is escaping. Okay, lava is leaving its place. All right. Once oxygen began to collect in the atmosphere, a protective layer of ozone formed. And then around 600 million years ago, when there was enough oxygen and protective ozone, the first simple animals developed. Our own species first appeared only about 200,000 years ago, and we have taken over the earth since then. And the composition of air has been fixed from the last 200 million years. Okay, so it's time to give you a little task. Okay, you have to answer the following questions, right? You have to write answers briefly and precisely, right? You can write your answers with the help of this lecture or with the help of your textbook, right? But you have to write precisely and you have to write in your own language, right? Okay, so question number 1 is what is atmosphere? Number 2, where did atmosphere come from? 3, explain why the atmosphere now contains less carbon dioxide and water vapors. Number 4, at first oxygen acted as pollutant. Explain. 5, name 4 layers of atmosphere according to high temperature and pressure. Number 6, draw a pie chart to show the composition of air. Okay, the pie chart you have to draw from your book, right? You will find it on page number 188. Okay, and then you have to make 10 fill in the blanks from the chapter. You have to do this fair work in your fair copies, right? Your chemistry journals. Okay, I hope you must have got understood my lecture. Thanks for your attention and patience. Wish you all the best. Allah Hafiz.